to the 12 days of Christmas. This is day number three. Hey, I have something super awesome special for you guys tonight. I'm actually going to post this video on my lymphatics page because we're going to talk about how to support your lymphatic system for ultimate weight loss and anti-aging. That's what we're doing tonight. And I'm actually going to give you some of the tips and tricks that are in my online program for my Essential Life Technique. So the Essential Life Technique is something that I created specifically for the lymphatic system to help it move. Now, your lymphatic system is it's the biggest part of your circulatory system. You guys will hear me say that like a million gazillion times. It's the biggest part of your circulatory system. Now, if you know anyone that's had any kind of heart issues, well, they've probably had a lymphatic system issue way before that. And if you address the lymphatic system, if you go preventative, then that heart issue won't ever happen. But modern medicine doesn't typically tell you that. That's why you have me, guys. That's why you have me, the lymphatic specialist, to come alongside you and say, you know what? You can prevent a lot of this stuff because the number one, well, okay, so let's look at the top three killers, especially in the United States, are obesity, heart disease, and diabetes. Well, they're all just connected. They're connected. So let's look at the lymphatic system and how the lymphatic system can support your health. It can support weight loss. It can prevent all sorts of things, because if you look at thermography, if you guys don't know about thermography, I suggest that you look for a thermographist in your area, someone that is going to be very knowledgeable in thermography, because you can actually predict cancer up to 7 years before it ever happens through thermography. And a lot of you don't even know that. And we have some phenomenal people here in DFW that do thermography, and I partner with these guys. They're super awesome and they know about lymphatics. And if you go do a thermography, you get an entire reading of the body. It's what's going on in the body now. And 97% of the time, the things that need to be addressed, 1, 2, or 3 on top of that chart, that thermography chart, is going to be a lymphatic issue that you need to address. So I'm going to teach you some things that I teach in my classes. I'm going to teach those to you so that you can have that support in your house, that you can have that support today, to use today to increase your lymphatic movement. Now, your lymphatic system is the biggest part of your immune system. What?
Oh, you said circulatory system.
It is, but it's like
immune system.
It's almost your immune system. What? Yeah, it's pretty much your immune system. So, you got lymphocytes, you got, the T cells, you got all kinds of stuff going on in the lymphatic system, but it's not really talked about, is it? Again, that's why you guys have me. Okay, now I'm going to teach you a movement that you can do any time of day to engage the main drains of your lymphatic system. So if you think of your lymph as your river, it's your river of life. It's the garbage disposal. So this river, when it's running, it is taking out the trash and it's dumping it. It's like, yep, we've got this, we see this. Okay, let's dump it, let's get rid of it. But when it becomes stagnant, that's when we have issues. That's when we have clogged stuff going on in the body. And then we have some stuff. So, just talking about mood disorders, the University of Virginia linked mood disorders with a congested lymphatic system back in 2016. I can do another video on that, guys. So we got to get the lymph moving. We have to get the lymph moving. And if it's the river, if it's your life, if it has drainage going on, let's think of, let's say, a plumber, and you've got a clog in your house. Does the plumber go out to your road to find the clog? No, they typically start at the drain, but we want to start at the drains. The drains of your lymphatic system are right inside your collarbone. Did you know that?
Of course, I've been around you so long. I know all of this stuff.
He could teach this by now.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I'd probably get a few things mixed up, and I would mispronounce a lot of these words.
No, I posted something today on my lymphatics page. So if you guys don't know about my lymphatics page, it's Lymphatics for Life, FOR, Lymphatics for Life. And I posted a breathing technique on there today about how to get the sternochyli going. So I love teaching and giving you information. So if you want to hop over there, you can see that. We will be talking a lot about breathing in Fit Over 40, because did you know, fun fact, you lose more weight through breathing than anything else?
I did know that.
You did?
Well, yeah.
Well, you've heard me say that. Yes.
No, well, I mean, actually part of my weight loss journey has been learning how to breathe appropriately, breathing like a baby.
Oh, he does know, guys. He does know. So your lymphatic system moves, it functions, it pumps through movement and proper breathing. Now it's just like, okay, so let's look at your blood. When you go to a lot of doctors, they want to do blood tests, right? So your blood has a pump, and that is called your, what pumps your blood?
Your heart.
Okay, your heart.
I was like, is this a trick question?
Is it a trick question?
I'm thinking, wait, you put me on the spot. I better know this one.
It's your heart. Well, your lymphatic system doesn't have a pump. Doesn't have a heart. So how does it pump? It pumps through movement and proper breathing. That's why we asked the question today, how many of you guys are getting in your LIS cardio? Because LIS cardio is a super, super awesome support for your cardiovascular system. And we need the cardiovascular fitness in order to do the things that we want to do, especially as we get older. We want to build muscle. We want to, because muscle does all kinds of stuff. It helps with bone structure, and we can get into that later. But you want to be around to chase your grandkids all over. We have a 5-year-old granddaughter comes over, and we have to have energy for that.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. So this is how we can support our lymphatic system, which is the biggest part of our circulatory system. And that is through getting these main drains open. Okay, so I want everybody to sit up nice and tall, and I want, well, don't strain. I want you to just tilt your pelvis forward. Let's do a teaching on how to do that. They taught us that in music school, how to do that without straining your back. So just sit up nice and tall, and then I want you to roll your shoulders back. Well, you can't really do it because you have one arm over.
Yep,
so I want you to start rolling your shoulders back, up and back, because what are we doing here? We're up and back. We're engaging these guys here. There is also another technique that I teach where you can go in here and you can pump these guys, because your main drain is just inside your collarbone. So if you think, I pulled my hair up for you guys tonight so I could show you. I'm being like proactive here. So if you think of your earlobe and you go straight down your neck, you're going to hit that little soft spot right there. You see how it's red because I've been messing with it? That's where the main drains are. And we want to make sure we have a dip right here inside the collarbone, because if you see people that they don't have a collarbone, they have a lot of stuff going on right here. They have super, super, like, it's crazy lymphatic congestion when you see that stuff right there. So you need to have that dip inside your collarbone, because lymphatic congestion can lead to so many symptoms, and 80% of those can just be alleviated if you get your lymphatic system moving, and it can absolutely support in weight loss and anti-aging. So let's roll the shoulders back. Come on. Do it with me.
I'm there.
Roll your shoulders back. Roll your shoulders back.
Okay, keep doing it.
Now, here's the kicker. If you want to boost, if you want to really get it going, you add Cypress. That's where we're going tonight. Cypress, because Cypress is one of these oils that I keep for, I have kept this for so many clients over the years. I probably had 3 bottles of Cypress constantly in my office because I use it so much and I never wanted to run out. So you can either take a carrier oil, because if your skin is a little sensitive to oils, you can just put a carrier oil on right here and down your neck. Carrier oil, it's like fractionated coconut oil, jojoba oil, olive oil, anything like that. And then put your Cypress on. So we're going to open up this. We should talk about smell too, because, you know, we've been talking about moods and brain and all that stuff. And you just put a little Cypress in here, put a little Cypress in here, rub it in. Cypress is for movement. When I want movement in the body, I apply Cypress and we start rolling those shoulders back, or we start pumping. So roll those shoulders back. That might be a little easier for a lot of you. Roll those shoulders back, start moving that head around. We want to get those lymphatics moving because that helps with eye support, eyesight, guys. Glaucoma is caused from lymphatic congestion. We want to get all this head stuff moving. Then we want to go here and we just want to sweep down. Do it with me. Sweep down. Very light, like you're petting a kitty. Very light. He does not like the cats. It's like, oh, seriously, I want to strangle a cat. No, so pet like a kitty, and you want to go down to 3 or 4 times and roll the shoulders. And now here is a fun tip. If you have a double chin, you can absolutely get rid of it. You can. You've got Cypress on, you can take your thumbs and you can just lightly pull up to the earlobes and pull it down. So lightly pull up to the earlobes and pull it down and roll those shoulders. And you've got one of the best anti-aging tips and mental focus tips. Oh my gosh, if you're in the middle of your workday and you get, you know, brain fog and you're tired, you know, it's 2 p.m. and you're like, oh, so just do that. Do your neck, rub down a little bit, go a little bit like this, rub it down and roll those shoulders back. There is your lymphatic tip for the day. Cypress.
What else does it do? We got any other things?
I use it mainly for movement. So you can take over now because Cypress is my big one. If I want movement in the body, I use Cypress, and it smells. Oh my gosh, it smells so phenomenal.
It's got a little, well, it's Cypress, so it's got a little woodsy smell to it, but you can use that. You can use Cypress and make your own deodorant because it's also antibacterial. So it can help, and it helps remove toxins. She's talking about the circulatory system. It does all this stuff for movement. It's great for healing too. It helps to clot blood. It's great if you get a scrape or anything like that to put on. See, I'm just trying to give a few extras. I don't know where to put it everywhere. Just like I'm all about, if you have it, overuse it. I mean, just use it, just put it everywhere. Even if you don't get in the drain specifically, just get it somewhere that's going to get some movement in your life, you know. And so, you know, we've talked about these other oils. We talked about myrrh, we talked about cedarwood, and we connected them biblically and symbolically. And Cypress is one of those interesting ones because not just from you know, ancient Bible history, but through different cultures throughout history, Cypress was used you know, predominantly for building materials, whether it was like, you know, boats.
It's a tree.
Yeah, it's a tree.
Flow. Yeah. It gets the flow
Well,
going.
that's what I was going to go with the flow. So, but for me, so in my study, you might see different things. You might see, if you look it up on Google, you might say Cypress is connected to like the afterlife. Different cultures believe because it was a big tree. I think that is the Hades, one of the god of the underworld. That's his tree. You know, you have all these different things. Like you know, and then people, and you see a lot. You actually see a lot of places where the burial cemeteries where they'll have a lot of cypress trees because there is this idea that it protects against evil spirits. But okay, let me bring that back to like Bible. I'll say this as well, because Michelle's she loves Egyptology, and we went to Egypt and celebrating. It's awesome. The Egyptians love to use it for their sarcophagus.
I think my ancestors were actually Egyptian pharaohs. So.
But the reason they did that, it wasn't just because it was a good hard material. It was because it doesn't decay. Cypress. So we talk a lot in our journey right now. One of our biggest focuses is longevity, and Cypress. Now, modern scholars believe, and this is debatable, okay, but modern scholars believe that the gopher wood that God told Noah to get to build his ark, that gopher wood is actually the cypress. And the reason is it is one of the most durable woods on the planet. It has so many botanical properties because it doesn't decay. It will protect itself against wind, weather, atmospheric changes and shifts. Cypress can actually grow and flourish in both acidic and alkaline soil.
I did not know that.
So it is one of these things that no matter where it is, it'll flourish. It'll grow.
That's really cool.
So it's a symbol of longevity. It's a symbol of strength. Actually, the original doors of the St. Peter's Basilica in Rome, where the popes would go and the priests would go, right? The original doors are made of cypress. You can go to Rome today, go to St. Peter's Basilica. They revamped the doors, but they still have the old original doors made of cypress. They've had that for over 1,200 years. And there are other items that have been made and preserved by using cypress and that are known to have lasted for more than 1,000 years. So it doesn't decay. It doesn't wear out. It's some of the best material on the planet that God has given to us. So cypress is a representation of strength, of longevity. Some could say prosperity, but it's so amazing that God gave us this as a symbol of longevity, of long life, of sustaining your life. I mean, we mentioned cedar wood, that Solomon, that was his go-to, but he also used cypress as well in the building of his temple. You can see it throughout that, symbolically, God talks about in the book of Psalms about how the cypress tree would grow and the birds would nest in it, and it would grow so high and so tall. So it's that symbol, that stature of strength, of purpose, of again, that longevity. And so cypress is an amazing tool that God gave them, again, to build boats, to build buildings, to build weaponry. And obviously they use it as well for medicinal things. They use it for the smell, as well, to create those aromas and things of that nature. Because again, it has that woodsy smell. And they used it for medicinal things. And again, when you connect all of this from what they did in ancient times to how it is being used today, and then you can connect that spiritually to that this idea. It's amazing that God gave us so many things in the earth for us to use, not only for to create something, right, but also to sustain our own life, our own body. And our big thing, like I said, right now, she mentioned our 5-year-old granddaughter is to have the energy to be present, not just physically present, but to be energetically present. That's a new term I'll use. Energetically present when she's around. And so we need that longevity in our life. We need that energy in our life. And Cypress is one of the ways that we're able to connect that and get that.
That's really cool. Yeah. I mean, I knew I loved it. I knew I use it constantly, yeah. But I didn't know all of that. So that just makes me have an even bigger appreciation for Cypress.
Yeah. And again, when you look at the ancient cultures, the Egyptian culture, the Jewish culture, the Greeks used it to build their gods. And it wasn't just because it was a good solid material. It was because they wanted to make sure that it would last.
It's going to last
for a long, long time. So, again, douse yourself, bathe in the cypress.
I was just thinking that, like, girls, did you see the one we did on myrrh and how it's used for anti-aging? Let's mix some cypress with myrrh.
Put them together, and it's just You know,
Woo!
we're going to live to 140 or 50 because
I'm
we're
going after 150. So
well, I don't know where, maybe I'll be there. I don't know, but I believe there's going to be cypress trees in heaven.
that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Man, that is so cool. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to go on my lymphatics page too, and probably my YouTube. I was going to save all these videos for just our group, but this one tonight, I believe I'm just going to have to just share this one.
Yeah, there's a lot of information on this tonight.
Yeah, very, very good. Very good. So guys, get your Cypress, get your lymph moving, get those shoulders back, because we're always in, you know, that mode where we're at the computer, we're on the phones and we're this like that, and our lymph isn't moving, and we want that longevity. We want that. we don't want to decay. And I love how Cypress doesn't. That's just phenomenal how God did that.
One final thing about Cypress is we started a thing the other day talking about anxiety triggers.
Yep.
Cypress is actually one of the oils that it's scientifically, medically proven that using cypress oil can actually relieve you of anxiety. When that goes back to the cardiovascular things, the circulatory, the immune system, all of that stuff. And so if you're dealing with, yes, we want that longevity, but one of the ways that we maintain, or we're able to preserve and go for the long haul, is we need to eliminate some of the stress in our life, some of the anxious things. And you take one whiff of cypress, you feel a peace, you feel a calm, and it can actually alleviate that anxiety in your life. Fit over 40.
Fit
you
over
need,
40.
You
Fit
got to have the
every
oils.
area.
Every area. Body,
area.
soul, and spirit.
Yes.
Use the oils to do it.
Yes, yes. Okay, guys. We will see you tomorrow with another, it's day number 4 tomorrow of the 12 days of Christmas. And you know which oil is going to come up toward the end. Can anybody guess which oil is going to come up toward the end? Just comment and I'll give you a thumbs up if you're right. Okay. All right. We love you guys so much. We hope you've gotten so much out of this. I want you to get your lymph moving. I want you to get your life moving, because remember, stuck life, stuck lymph. Let's get that lymph moving. Let's get everything unstuck out of our life, and let's go into our destiny, our purpose that God has created us for. So go be awesome.
Go be awesome. Fit over 40.